I living in Columbus, Ohio, almost 28 years. And then I have one son when I was 40. And I married with this American citizen, American man, and then we are different is a culture, raise a kid. Since when we got kid, now he's 14, 15, he's 16. He thinking is I'm too much is attached with him, like I think he's too early to like. He starts like 14, have a girlfriend. Just a friend is be okay, but I don't like his be too deep with the girls. So me and my husband, he's American, so his culture is I guess is okay, but me is different. So we argument, and then sometimes he told me Zammo is like a little bit mental problem. He thinking is I'm too much is worry about him.
아이, 그걸 몰라서 묻는 것 같아요.
So that was a rhetorical question.
그러니까 미국에 사니까 미국 법을 따르라는 거예요.
So-
미국의 관습, 미국의 가치를 따르라.
So what I'm saying is that since you live in the U.S., follow the U.S. culture, the U.S. norms.
그러니까 그 남편이라서 따르라가 아니라 미국식을 따르라 이 말.
So I'm not telling you to say, to follow your husband's preference just because he's your husband. I'm saying follow the U.S. norms.
두 번째, 내 남자는 잘 챙기지. 그 남의 남자, 당신 아들이 그게 자기 남자가 아니야. 남의 남자지. 남의 남자 신경 쓰지 말고 내 남자는 잘 챙기세요.
And second, look out for number one, your husband, your man. Don't worry too much about whoever, somebody's, your son who's about to become somebody else's man.
That's his problem. Like, well, I raised here is almost until 28 years old, and then I moved there. But I don't know. I'm just to keep raises until now. I raise is, I guess, is a little bit Korean style. Wanna is straight is. Teenagers have a lot of problem, like a pregnant, have a sexual problem. So I don't want to be that way. And then I listen from a lot of his neighbor have like a 16, 17 years old pregnant, and then they dropped out of school. So I don't want to be that way. That's why his eyes just worry. So he thinking is, my husband thinking is no problem, but Ammo is, that's why he keep calling me is Ammo is mental
아들이
problem.
자기 말을 잘 안 들을 거예요.
So your son probably does not listen to you that well
왜냐하면 자기도 남 말을 안 듣기 때문에.
because you actually don't listen to others well.
그러니까 그냥 두는 게 좋아요.
So I think you should just let it go. Let him be.
걱정하는 건 이해가 되는데.
So I understand that you need to worry.
그러니까 28년간 한국에 사는 거는 자기 문제지 남편 문제는
The
아니죠.
fact that you lived your first 28 years in Korea is your problem, not your husband's.
근데 왜 자꾸 남편에게 자꾸 자기를 주장합니까? 미국에 살면서.
So why do you insist on bringing your Korean culture, your Korean upbringing, and throw that in the face of your husband, although you're living in the U.S. with your husband?
자기 그 문화를 지키는 건 좋습니다.
It's good to keep faith to your culture,
그러나 남편에게 강요할 수는 없잖아요.
but you can't demand that somebody else's follow your cultural norm,
그것이 또 미국에서 살면서.
especially if you're living in his country.
그러니까 그것은 아들은 미국에서 태어나서 살았잖아요.
So your son was born in the U.S. and raised in the U.S.
내가 보기에 한국 사람이지 걔는 미국 사람이에요.
So from your perspective, he may be Korean, but he's an American.
그러니까 그건 자기가 고집할 일이 아니라고 생각돼요.
So I don't think this is an issue that you should be stubborn about.
So what is the best way is my acting for them? Give me the good
그냥
answer.
두는 거예요.
Just let it be.
Just dropped out or something.
아니요. 그냥 두는 거예요.
Just let it be.
자기들이 알아서 살게.
Just let them live their
우려가
lives.
된다면
If you are concerned,
내 의견만 말하는 거예요.
then you just share your opinion.
엄마가 볼 때는 이렇게 생각이 된다. 이렇게 의견만 말하는 거예요.
It's just share your perspective. From a mother's perspective, this is what I think.
받아들이고 안 받아들이고는 그들의 자유예요.
You know, it's up to them whether they follow your advice or not.
그러나 내 의견이 안 받아들인다고 내가 스트레스를 받는다는 것은 내가 나를 고집한다는 거예요.
But if you feel stress when they don't follow your advice, that means that you are actually insistent and trying to demand that they follow your advice.
고집할 아무런 근거가 없잖아요.
But there's no cause for you to be stubborn about.
I just worry. I guess I got late child when I was 40, so only one son. So I just everything is maybe too much is attached with
자기가
him.
40애를 낳고 애가 하나밖에 없는 거는 자기 문제지. 그건 애 문제가 아니고 남편 문제도 아니에요. 그건
So
자기 문제지.
The fact that you only have an only child at a relatively late age of 40 is your problem. It's not a problem for your son or your husband.
자기가 그렇게 하는 건 이해가 돼요.
So I understand why you are behaving and feeling this way.
그러나 그건 바람직하다고는 할 수가 없어요.
But I can't say that this is the right way or a wise way.
그러니까 자기를 고쳐야지 아들이나 남편을 탓할 일은 아니라는 거예요.
So what I'm saying is that you should work on yourself, not try to work on your husband or your son.
누가 40에 아기를 낳으라 그랬어요?
You know, nobody told you to have a child at 40, right?
누가 하나만 낳으라 그랬어요?
Nobody told you to have only one child.
누가 한국에 28년간 살아라 그랬어요?
No one told you to live for 28 years in Korea.
누가 미국에 가라 그랬어요?
No one told you to go to the
미국
US.
사람하고 결혼하라 그랬어요?
No one forced you to marry this American.
그건 자기가 선택한 거예요.
These are all your choices.
그 선택에 대한 책임을 져야지.
And you got to be responsible for your choices.
어떻게 제가 책임질까요? 아니, 자기 선택을 내가 책임져야 돼요?
Should I be accountable for your choices?
I don't have an answer.
그러니까 적어도 남편을 탓할 일은 아니다.
So what I'm saying, at the minimum, this is not something that you need to blame your husband on.
그러니까 애들한테 관심을 꺼라 그렇게 얘기하면 알았습니다 여보 이렇게 얘기해야 돼요.
So when your husband says, don't worry too much, don't obsess over your son so much, you just tell him, yes, I won't.
그런데도 잔소리 가고 싶으면
But if you still want to nag him,
잔소리 하세요.
then feel free to do so.
남편이 왜 잔소리 하냐 이렇게 또 지적을 하면
And if your husband says, why are you nagging so much?
죄송합니다.
And you just apologize, I'm sorry.
안 하려 그러는데 이게 잘 안 되네요.
You know, I try not to, but you know, like it's hard.
이렇게 얘기해야 될 일이지 남편하고 다툴 일은 아니라.
So this is how you should approach it. This is not, it should not be a cause for fight with your husband.
아이한테도 마찬가지.
Same thing with your son.
내가 의견을 말할 수는 있습니다.
You are free to express your opinion,
그러나 그 선택은 아들의 자유예요.
but it's up to him whether to follow your advice.
Thank you for your good answer. Thank you.